I've been spending a lot of time in my garden recently, and because of the time of year that it is right now, there are a lot of flowers and a lot of bees. So I've been thinking a lot about bees lately and what they teach us. It's one of the pieces in my collection that I resonate with the most. And I love how bees are all about community, where I'm a very individualistic type of person. I tend to like to be on my own. I tend to want to do things on my own. I tend to have a really hard time asking for and even receiving help when it's being offered to me. So I feel like I have a lot to learn from bees, because bees are the opposite of me in a way. They're all about fitting into a larger group for a bigger picture, cooperation. And I love what they have to teach us about harmony and about what we can achieve when we work as a group. Because bees really do teach us that if one bee tried to create all of that honey by itself and maintain its hive, and it just couldn't. It needs every single other bee in its community in order for the whole thing to function. And I feel like I need a little bit more of that medicine in my life too. I'd like to offer you a bee reading. Bees, the helpers. Wearing a talisman from the bee collection encourages communication, cooperation, and self-discovery. The helpers. Bees symbolize belonging, balance, union, stability, harmony, families, community, and personal power. I think the thing is that we tend to think that we can only have one or the other. We need to either be in community or have personal power. I think it's an assumption that we've made in this society anyway. And I think bees can have something to teach us about how we can embody both. When we follow bees, we may discover a more fruitful path than we may not have been uncovered otherwise. Bees teach us that amazing achievements are possible with determined cooperation. So when we follow the example that's led by bees, I think in terms of receiving help and in giving to a larger picture and not necessarily needing to be so individualistic, we may uncover things that perfectly frankly wouldn't have been available to us if we hadn't decided to join a group. So how can being in a community or asking for help or letting yourself receive help today lead you down a path that might be better than the one that you might have expected you'd been on if you were in charge?